Hello, audience. This is Fire Dragon,
And this is Water Fairy.
and welcome to our YouTube channel. So, to start off this video, this is just basically an introduction. So we are going to lay out the ground rules, tell you guys what we plan to discuss on this channel, and yeah. So would you like to start us out, Dragon?
Okay, so as you can tell by our background, which is subject to change, we do not have a permanent location quite yet. So for now we're gonna film where we can, and we're gonna put props behind us. Usually they're gonna pertain to what we're talking about, but since we're just going over introducing ourselves and some ground rules today, we figured we'd get multiple different things to give you an idea about what we will talk about in the future.
So you can see here we got anime, we have TV, and
Video games, so
Which-
and movies, so it'll be a wide range of things.
And what we're mostly going to be talking about when we're talking about the media is the characters. So we're going to be talking about 4, I believe we decided.
Yes, 4 for each franchise that we discuss. We will eventually, we'll move on, but then we'll eventually go back and talk about that one franchise again. So just because your favorite character was not one of the 4 we discussed, does not by any means mean we will never get to him or her.
Yeah, we're not going to be talking about the same thing in 1 week. So don't freak out if we don't talk about a character you really love. We will go back to whatever show or game we're doing that week. We just want to
We want to talk about it, move on, and keep it fresh, so we'll talk about something else. And, we all go through phases. Some of us, 1 week will be into one thing, and the next will be obsessed with another. So to keep our audience entertained, we're going to move around a lot as well. So along with the characters, it'll be how good they are as characters themselves, how well they do in their setting, because just because a movie is good does not necessarily mean all the characters are enjoyable to watch, and just because there's a bad movie does not mean that the characters aren't good. So we're going to take that into account, and we're also going to focus on their relationships with other characters in the show, which inevitably leads to shipping, which are rocky waters, to say the least. So we're going to have some ground rules for that we want to make clear before we get into any of those episodes to avoid flames and hurt feelings, because people take shipping very seriously. The 2 of us are no exception to that. So when we do this, when we get to that part, we ask that any comments that we get remain respectful, because we're going to talk about all sorts of ships. Some we like, some we might not like. That'll depend on what we get asked to do, because we will most definitely take requests. So, but there are some ground rules we'd like to lay before we get anywhere near that. So, Fairy, if you don't mind.
Thank you. Right, so we will be ranking the shippings depending on how well the characters interact, how compatible they are, how they get along with each other, and
Quick introduction. This is Indiana. He will make frequent cameos because he likes affection, and he will follow us.
thumbs up for cute babies.
So he will pop in and out of these videos. So if I don't let him anywhere near us, he'll bark and he'll cry, and then I'll get all sad, and
No one wants to see a sad dog.
or hear one for that matter. So he will show up and disappear, and show up and disappear. So just bear with us. But I don't see a problem with that, because who doesn't like seeing dogs?
And now he's lying down.
Yep.
Oh, anyway, so back to shipping.
Sorry for the introduction.
It's okay. So we will be ranking the shippings, and based on how well they interact with each other, how compatible they are for each other, how they actually interact as a couple, and which brings us to a very important topic, same-sex couplings. Now, for those, before we get any flames here,
we're fine with them. If it actually works for those two characters, awesome. We enjoy watching it, and we'll support it and all that stuff. But if there's no actual canon evidence that suggests that a character is attracted to their same sex, gender, however you personally want to label it, we'll talk about how it could work, how we might enjoy the chemistry, but we won't say it's likely to happen, because if someone's not attracted to their own sex, gender, whatever, because then they're not gonna be. We need actual concrete evidence, not just stuff that could very well be taken as friendship, for example. So just keep that in mind. We'll talk about it, we'll see how it could work, but we will not say it's likely.
yeah, so in advance, sorry, stony fangirls and fanboys.
Yep, so as Fairy said earlier, we're going to rank it on two things. One is how enjoyable it is to watch and related things, and the other is how likely it is to happen outside of fan art and fan fiction. So just keep that in mind, and as I said earlier, when you're writing comments, especially with those episodes, be respectful, because we're going to do our best to be respectful, even when we talk about ships that we personally don't like. Just keep it that way, because everyone feels very strongly about their preferred ships, and you would not like it if someone bashed the ship you liked. So just keep that in mind. We want this channel to be welcoming and not hostile.
So please, no cursing each other out in the comments. If you're going to reply to someone, then please be respectful, because the last thing we want is to have to disable the comments, because we do want opinions. But I think we pretty much covered everything, haven't we?
Yep. So we hope to get our first video up soon. We're juggling around different movies and anime at the moment. We might talk about video games. We have not yet decided. We're still juggling a few options, but hopefully it'll be soon. And if all goes as planned, our first video will be taken at a very unique location.
Indeed. So I think we pretty much covered everything. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want, you can check me out on Twitter or Tumblr. I handle the Tumblr for this channel. I'll put the links to that in the description. But thank you so much for watching. And
yeah, thanks a lot, and hopefully we'll see you soon.
Bye guys.
Bye.